Good afternoon, everybody. How are we all doing today? I hope everybody's Sunday. I think it's Sunday for most people, time zones being weird, but I hope everybody's day has been lovely so far, and I hope it continues to be so. I'm already missing Kim. Kim was going to be my Valentine, but then, you know, he's a cop with cop duties, and I understand why those come first, but I can still be sad about it. So we're gonna get back to Disco Elysium. Without Kim, I kind of feel at a loss, but we're gonna continue on because this is important. As always, please tell me if any of my audio is too loud, too soft, if the balance is out. It's always a little bit different with this game because it runs a little bit quieter than many of my others, so it can be a little bit difficult for chat to hear things. Let's get the volume actually on, and we'll hop right back in. There are at least a few things that I can pursue without Kim. But I don't want to. It's so important. Need to do something behind his back, sneak out after he's gone to sleep. Oh, that's interesting. I would never have thought of that. Mostly because why would I want to do anything behind his back? Kim is the best, and I want Kim to be involved. Like, in my life. He's important. Juice! How goes it, Juice? Oh god, I do. He so deserves it. So I promised to find this lady's husband who has gone missing. I spoke to Gart about something. Well, Garte.
Can I help you?
But I don't remember anything in particular. Let's take a look at my journal. Go upstairs and knock on the door to number 3 to talk to the supposed victim of the hanged man. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, the woman I embarrassed myself to. Well, that's going to be something. I do want to investigate the doomed commercial area. So in the bookstore, there was apparently some sort of malignant entity living inside a chimney. I am curious about that. So there are still a couple of things I can follow up on. Valentine's Day is broadly celebrated by people who are not religious in any sense. But thank you, Juice. Of course I miss Kim. Kim is perfect and beautiful. And Kim left. Not permanently, but still. But yes, happy Valentine's Day, everybody. No, Summer. We got the body down, and we did a field autopsy, and then he took the body back. I haven't even met any of the other mercs. So yeah, let's investigate the bookstore. Hello? Apparently there is an evil entity living in the chimney. Yeah? He only leaves for the one until the end of the day, but that will probably be most of today's episode. So yeah, apparently there's some sort of evil entity living in the chimney, and I assume the chimney's through here. God, you're right, Juice. It's raining and they didn't protect the books. Whoa! I didn't see this! I thought this was like shelves. But this is a staircase? I didn't realize! I completely misunderstood what I was seeing there. The hallway is blocked by old window panes and debris. Okay, so I can't go that way. Nothing much to explore here. Now, I should probably grab my flashlight. That's better. Ooh, creepy background noises. I approve. This is the first properly dark place in the game, and I'm loving it. A large demijohn full of strange liquid. I don't know what a demijohn is. Wild animals stare at you in the dark, stuffed and mounted. I wasn't expecting the slightly horror undertones. Airship rotors covered in spider webs. They remind you of Blaze. Oh, the shadow play here is fantastic. Makes it look super creepy. I mean, as it should. Okay. Thank you, Juice. Yes, it is spoopy. A naked mannequin torso. A strange yellow color. Project Dreadboard. Your flashlight slides over an old green chalkboard covered in scribbles, sketches, and schemes, like some ancient cave mural. Some of the writing has faded with age, but you can still make out sections here and there. Photos and drawings have been pinned to the board. Inspect the drawings. These lithe, pointy-eared creatures appear to be different types of welkins. You make out autumnal candle welkins, casting wax-based magic, translucent welkins with organs shining under their skin, and even ether welkins, hailing from the vast emptiness of sidereal space. Who are all these creatures? Fantasies of a tortured, feverish mind? One of the welkins, towering above the rest, appears to be different, however. It's Varahamira, a high welkin, his face white and scarred like cracked marble. This is clearly a Welkin supremacist. The note says, all non-Welkin races will be purged. Cool, so even in Fantasyland we've got we've got supremacists. The Hulder, the Dwarg, the humans, and even the Headless Men, all of them, purged. Imagine a world filled only with Welkin. Green Welkin, Dread Welkin, and the High Welkin are to rule them all. So, someone was plotting out a fantasy story, is what I'm getting from this. The photo collage depicts barren, icy landscapes wrapped in perpetual night. You see permafrost and glacial landforms, dead trees groaning under the snow. Entire oceans have been frozen from shore to shore. There are pictures of settlements on dried-up riverbeds, abandoned in a storm. Animal corpses in the dark, carcasses and bones. Albeit cold and dark, this vision also feels cozy in its own way, like eggnog or morphine, a much-needed respite from our own world. You know, there was a jump from eggnog to morphine. A pinned postcard reads, "The heat-death scenario. A desperate fight for geothermal energy engulfs the world as Whirl becomes untethered from its sun, drifting through the universe." This is a really cool concept for a story. This is a monthly calendar from the year 50. Cryptic words like sprint, daily, mini-me, and GPI span the marker-drawn grid. The grand scheme of production and money. As time goes on, the numbers in the boxes grow rarer and rarer. The board becomes an empty snowfield in the final days. Only failure and regret dwell in this region. Looks like they didn't make it. The handwriting is only partly legible, but you can still make out 3 slogans: "Call in, tune out," "Whirl untethered," and "Heat death of the universe." Outside, a cold wind wraps the building in its bosom. Snowflakes in the wind. An old woman passes what the locals call the doomed commercial area. She tries hard not to look at the bookstore windows. It's unwise. That's so cool. I love this game's world building, because that doesn't really do anything. I mean, I got 5 experience, but that's got nothing to do with the investigation. Or at least not with the murder investigation. But it is an interesting... It's an interesting thing that exists in the world, and it makes the world feel much more real. Blue velvet, soft to the touch, moth-bitten. What am I bumping into there? Skis with slipstream printed on the laminated top layer. Oh. Production schedule, filament memory. That's interesting. Now, I suspect, like, some of these things are only worth selling, I believe. The postcards are for selling. I wouldn't want to sell that dude's photo. But I'm curious about this. The cube-like crisscross of filaments feels oddly fragile in your hand, its intricate structure covered in dust. Silver tape on the side reads production schedule. Note, this filament contains information that can be read using a radio computer. Okay, so I definitely don't want to sell that. Nothing else in here. Okay. Ooh. Hey, I've got my 20 real. I can sleep in an actual bed tonight. Well, that was a creepy sound. This appears to be some kind of machine with a cube-shaped heart and a wired framework. The keyboard has a rectangular on-off button. A piece of paper still hangs from the printer. The machine lights up like some prehistoric animal stirring from its slumber, revealing virescent play and print keys on the keyboard. The hatch on the machine's central compartment is wide open. It's empty like a beehive without its brood. Some cables have been left dangling, disconnected. The filament would have fit perfectly inside the compartment. Okay, let's find out about this production schedule. Like a smooth drawer, the filament slides into place. On the keyboard, the play key starts blinking. The barred fabric above the keyboard starts producing a soft hum. The sound of static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic driver. Have you stirred the ghost of the doomed commercial area from its rest? Could this be its dismembered heart beginning to flutter? Oh no, it was already glowing, and now it's also making a sound? It's probably some alien zeolite technology. The static gets louder, slowly filling up the abandoned hall until a voice speaks out, crackling and old, cutting into the air. Good afternoon, Fortress Accident on Rue de Saint-Ghislain. This is East Insulindian Repeater Station 1. Oh my god, is this a numbers station? Please repeat, is this the production schedule? This is... Wait, so is this live or a recording? I am intrigued. What's the production schedule? The filament you have inserted into the reader. Thanks for the explanation. That was a question. Have you inserted it into the core? Yes. Good. Please repeat the password. Ah. Password. Of course it would have a password. That's why there's a human administrator involved. You should ask her for a hint. I'm really bad at passwords. Can you give me a hint? No. I don't know the password. Received. I will register this login attempt. Okay, so I'm speaking to a live person. This is very interesting. That sounds bad. A login attempt. Something a criminal would do. Don't worry, passwords have a way of turning up sooner or later. Fortress Accident, is there anything else I can do for you today? Why did you call me Fortress Accident? Fortress Accident is the company on whose name the terminal you're currently using has been registered to. Do you have any other information about this company? One moment, you hear her flip through a catalog before she reads out, with studious care, Fortress Accident SCA produces revolutionary interactive call-in radio games. That's what the catalog says. So, this board here, the chalkboard, it wasn't for a book, it was for a game? Is this like a radio-based MMO or something? Because honestly, that's such a cool concept. Yeah, and what's that? This interactive call-in radio game. The static drowns her response. Any other questions? You hear her ask when the connection finally improves. Are you a machine or are you alive? Yes, I am alive. I'm 74 years old and my name is Ivan. Where are you? How do you know where I am? I work as a repeater at the East Insulindian Repeater Station. It's my job to know where you are, Fortress Accident. As for me, well, some static. Then, I am sitting in my cubicle surrounded by a wall of radios. On an island on the River Esperance, a small woman, all skin and bones, sits in a room filled with audio equipment. Thousands of tiny lights are reflected back from her prescription lenses, like stars in the dark. Doesn't it get lonely sitting there, all by herself? Doesn't it get lonely? Lonely? For the first time you hear her chuckle through the rustle of static. Why would it get lonely? I get to talk to people all day. That's why she does this. Now please tell me if there's anything else I can do, Fortress Accident. That's all for now. Hi, Niv! Thank you and goodbye. The old lady's voice disappears along with the static. Okay, what does print do? Nothing happened. Okay. That certainly was something. This old fireplace. You have a conundrum, Niv? Well, let me see if I can help you out. This old fireplace is covered in lines, drawn in blue and red marker. The mesh spreading over the stone like blood vessels on alabaster skin. It looks ghostly and strangely ancient. you earned $90 for a game, and the game is $90. As in, you were paid $90 for your work on a game, and you're wondering if you should spend your $90 to play the game. Am I understanding that correctly? A diagram for summoning some time-forgotten being. The symbols seem very esoteric. If you got okay, you were given $90 for commissions. So you earn $90. And you want to spend it on a game. Because then I'm not seeing the conundrum. Then I'm just seeing Niv with a new game. Radio frequencies, it seems. These... Now, this is interesting. Is this where the lady driver was working from? Because these were also frequencies in her truck. Maybe not the exact numbers, but the style. You know what, Niv? If you want the game, if you have the money, and if you don't need the money for anything else at the moment, I say get the game. Radio frequencies for what? Unclear. It looks like a cardiovascular system, split into veins and capillaries. Very advanced. The anatomy of the curse. But no, it's... I think this is how they coordinate the drug dealing. Dealing with something medical here. You think so? The web is comprised of radio stations. All lead back to one red heart titled The Game Master Frequency. A note says, this one can listen in on any station it wants. Who's the Game Master? Someone very important. The leader of a massive on-air game built by these people. And if it's a game, then who's playing? Whoever decides to call into to a call-in station, it looks like. All of this gone, left unrealized. Oh no, so this... Was I overthinking it? Does this have nothing to do with the drugs, and this is just part of the game still? There's no way a little basement studio working here could pull anything like this off. What else? Nothing. It's just lines on marble, an echo from times long ago. No one has used the fireplace in ages. Oh no, there's a door. Why is there a door? Scribbled across a notebook. Developers of the most advanced RPG in the universe. That is super rad, Niv. Anytime something you're creating gets... Oh, do I go up or do I go door? I'll go door first. I'm scared. Yeah, anytime something you create gets loved by other people, it's an amazing feeling. I don't know the password. Okay, wish me luck, chat. I'm probably not going to die by walking through this door. But, you know, it's a possibility. Oh? Why are the bear's eyes shining? Ooh. You know, with 4... yeah, get some of that back. Where is this? You should, Niv. A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace, coloring it pitch black. Looks like this furnace has a face, and it's a face of agony. Look inside the furnace. It's dark and grimy here. In the darkness, you can hear chatter. It's coming from above. A voice, or several voices, talk to each other near the smoke chamber upstairs. Yeah, There have been a lot of really good games made in RPG Maker. No reason not to use it. I must get back to Game Maker. Game Maker is a lot of fun, but you have to already know how to program, basically. Maybe it's coming from somewhere upstairs. You should investigate. Or maybe you're just hungover again. No, I'm really not this time. Could it be psychological? Because your physical health is fine. 97% chance to yell hello into the furnace. Knuckle crack? Are we all ready for me to critical fail this? Oh! Something breaks loose in you. A mighty bellow echoes throughout the chimney's depths. The chatter of tiny voices above suddenly cease. Then, you hear a woman's voice answer. You've awakened the entity! Oh, I could be the police. But I can also get into character for this one, and I really want to do this in character. I summon the ghost of this doomed commercial area. Answer me, spirit.
Hello? Did you say anything? I can't hear you. Please come upstairs. There's a safety curtain on the second floor. I'll open it.
She's not living in the chimney, Juice. She's living above the chimney, and this basically allows the sound to travel. Hello? Did you say anything? There's a pause. I can't hear you. Please come upstairs. There's a safety curtain on the second floor. I'll open it. You hear a low rumble upstairs, the sound of a curtain being pulled aside. You know what? That was awesome. I have made progress. But also, the fuck is this bear statue doing? An ice cream maker, defrosted and unplugged. It's an ice bear fridge. You see a terrifying ice bear with a strange compartment in its belly. The door is covered in frost and the bear's eyes are glowing red. This ice bear is a hypercarnivore. Be careful. What is this thing? It looks like a giant ice bear. Your words echo in the empty chamber, ringing against the wet floor tiles. The bear keeps staring. A sharp slice of light shines from its mysterious belly door. Crack open the door. A gust of freezing cold air rushes to greet you. You hear a low grumble as the bear regulates itself. This is the inside of a refrigerator. Look inside. The shelves are empty. All you see are crumpled ice cream wrappers with the brand name Revachol Ice City. A handwritten note has been attached to the door. The fridge is huge. Take the note from the door. You pocket the note and the little fridge magnet, keeping it to the door. Why not? Correct, Arrow. That is a giant ice bear whose belly is a refrigerator. Because, you know, that's a thing. A friendly cartoon bear smiles back at you from a glossy cellophane wrapper. It looks nothing like the fridge. Okay, so I got a note. A note from the fridge. The note is written with a blue pencil on a piece of lined office paper. The kitchen magnets have left spots on the surface. Someone has scribbled, S, I can't believe the off-site copy is still here. The illiterate ginger kid keeps stealing stuff from the studio, so I had to hide it somewhere safe. Depending on when this was, that exactly fits Kuno's description. I'm not saying he's illiterate, but he's probably not the smartest, and I could see him being described as such. You'll find the filament memory with the off-site copy in the frozen ice cream maker. Please take it home ASAP, it's important. I'd do it myself if I lived in a civilized place with a freezer. Take care, Sulislav. Who wrote that note? According to the note, someone named Sulislav. Well, thank you. Someone who owns a radio computer, one might assume. Thanks, smartass. You're welcome. I know what a filament memory is. Who's the illiterate ginger kid? The note does not specify. Are you serious? You sure you don't want to hazard a guess here, detective? Fucking, my own brain is sassing me so hard. You mean Kuno? Ding ding ding, we have a winner. Where's the frozen ice cream maker? Somewhere among the shadows in the cellar. Well, that was very useful. Genuinely. But this is not the frozen ice cream maker. This is the defrosted ice cream maker. Come on. The flashlight casts a strange shadow. There is a hidden doorway here. Oh! Well, that's just fascinating. How do I get there? I'll let the game navigate for me. 2 rusty rifles are hidden above the piping. They look inoperable. People were preparing for some shit here. Someone has stuck some busted guns beneath the ceiling. A few bricks have fallen off, revealing a compartment behind the wall. It's too dark to see in. Where am I? Inside a secret room infested with rats, spiders, and woodlice. The reason for that, Juice, is because English is busted. So, there's an old thing that I saw, which I love. It only works written out, but I'm going to say it out loud anyway. Read and lead rhyme, and red and lead rhyme. But read and lead do not rhyme, and red and lead do not rhyme. Even though read and red and lead and lead are spelt the same. English is completely broken. There's a hole in the wall. There is. Inside it's nothing but gloomy blackness. Better not stick your hand inside. Stick your hand inside the hole. Your hand reaches deep into the darkness and spiderwebs, rummaging around. You find a number of rusty rifles hidden away. Most of them are ugly and inoperable. But a single rifle catches your eye. It's a bolt action with a fine wood stock. Well, the issue with English is that English basically... English is like a language katamari. It just rolls around picking up bits of other languages. Take the rifle. A fit service weapon for a fit officer. Too bad it doesn't work. It looks like it's been out of order for years. What does this mean, a rifle here? It means there are firearms, albeit inoperable, still lying around Martinez. This is an interesting coincidence. Could prove useful in some way. You don't know how yet, but it might be useful down the road. This is a good find. Really justifies coming down here and looking around. It genuinely does. Also, because I'm curious, that would not sell for a lot of money. Okay, and I cannot hold it, even just to, like, fake intimidate someone. Navigation over there is a bit rough, so I'm going to let the game navigate for me sometimes. Oh, it totally is, Josh. A frozen ice cream machine still running. Well, I needed a frozen ice cream machine, didn't I? I'm glad you enjoyed it, Arrow. This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner on top and an electric freezer that appears to be frozen shut. Try to crack the lid open. You slip your fingers underneath the frozen lid, but the ice is too solid for you to get a good grip. Chat, this is a very important moment. It is time to truth something. Oh, I know. I know what needs doing. It is time to truth the freezer. Pry bar not strong enough? What? Let's try turning the ice cream crank, see if that helps in any way. Turning the crank feels oddly satisfying. Like stirring your childhood dreams. In the distance you hear water dripping. It's all gone now. You never became a poet or an... Why does this game make up words? Entrepreneur. Not entrepreneur. I think that's meant to be like entrepreneur, but it's just... what better to assuage the creeping sense of failure than some frozen fat and sugar? You know what? You know what? I'm worried this is going to break my pry bar, but I think that's unlikely. The ice squeaks beneath the pry bar. You think you've got the bar jammed in there pretty well, but the lid simply won't budge. What is this? You see the pry bar's metal handle bending right before your very eyes. That's a good pry bar, but this ice cream maker is frozen shut. It takes an advanced tool to get it open. Some kind of super pry bar? You have no idea where to get one. Sooner or later, you will stumble upon a tool mighty enough. Then we will know what's in this mysterious ice cream maker. Heck! Not today. Chat, we have not yet truthed something. But we will. 2 cables are plugged into the breaker box. The red one leads to the ice bear fridge and the black one to the ice cream maker nearby. There's a reason that it's... There's a reason that it's frozen. But if I turn off the power, I can just... Something close to you dies with a soft electric purr. It'll defrost on its own. The intercom wires running into the breaker box. Oh, this is all very curious. Oh, I missed a thing here. Money! So... yeah, the ice around it slowly melting. Whoops. Okay. So that would probably mean I can do it. Well, based on this note, what's in there is just is filament memory, which we just it's basically what you use to switch on the computers. There's no evidence at this point that it's a body or drugs. It could be, but we don't know that yet. Insane mesh tank top. I can improve my drama just by putting on a tank top? Fuck yes. Like, I'm not going to keep wearing it because why would I? But that's kind of hilarious. What did I have on before? I wish I could remember. Conceptualization or logic. I think logic's probably more useful overall. Why what, Error? Are you concerned that I'm an old man wearing a mesh tank top that I found in a drawer in an abandoned room? I know what you mean. What? This leads here? This leads here? That's so interesting. And I'm guessing that this was all... This was probably sealed off previously. And is only, like, accessible to me now on account of how I did the thing. Okay. I've never heard that referred to as a penny. That's really interesting, Juice. Okay. So that lady told me to come upstairs, so... Oh, no. Oh, this is so creepy. Shoes in a puddle of melting snow. Oh, so someone came in recently. Does someone live here? Well, someone certainly was here. I don't know if they live here, but they're... Ooh, another postcard. Oh yeah, this is a whole spoopy section, Arrow. And this was the person who was at the top of the trays full of dice. Colorful polyhedral dice, hundreds of them. Yeah, okay, so this is a D&D nerd. And this is the pipe from the... from the furnace, which is why they could hear us and we could hear them. The candy dispenser has been repurposed to contain thousands of dice. We get it, you're a nerd.
Hello, I'm Nia.
A bird-like woman sits on a throne of tools with emerald light shining through her hair. Gold!
Did you try knocking on my window? I must have missed you. I've been listening to my Melius.
Let me know if I should turn the volume up at any point. As I said, this game's a little bit softer than some of the other games I play on stream.
So what kind of die are you looking for?
Oh, is this not the person who I was speaking to earlier? Could this be the malicious entity? Perhaps it's wise to go along with this masquerade for now. What do you mean by Milius?
Yes, a milieu is like a calling
Oh,
station.
milieu.
You need a two-way radio to access one. That's why I have these.
This is really
Mostly,
interesting.
they just teach you to swear in different languages. But some of the stations can be quite interesting. I was so absorbed, I must have missed you knocking.
No, I didn't knock. You must have me confused with someone else. I haven't knocked on your window.
Then how did you get inside? By the south entrance? You know what? It doesn't even matter. What matters is that you're finally here. Let's talk dice. Did you have something specific in mind?
I'll admit to being confused.
I'm a novelty dice maker. Tell me the name of your role-playing system and I'll make the die you need. That's why you're here, yes?
Oh, I love her. I love this woman, and today being Valentine's Day, I think it's important to admit that I will marry her. As she speaks, her bone-like fingers fiddle with a ring. Her bones light, but her hands strong. I was looking for something else. Squint your eyes mysteriously. Answers.
Answers? How strange. These days people only come to me for dice and role-playing games.
Oh, but I love her.
I'm not sure how helpful I'll be, but go ahead and ask.
Walls around her are covered with rows of precious stones and minerals. This person means you, and no one else. Absolutely no harm. She will answer freely and honestly. How did you become a dice maker? How did I become one? It was a business decision. I was a regular jeweler at first, but that's an unfocused field, with too much competition. Some of my friends were role players. They asked me to make some polyhedral dice out of cobalt. That was my first order. I grew it from there. Oh, this sounds so good. Do you like playing games yourself? Not especially. I like working with rare materials and a steady pay. And role players as customers, they're nice people. I've heard the exact same thing about artists who get commissioned by furries. Apparently furries are like the best customers. She's thankful for the security they provide. What do you know about the man who was lynched behind the whirling in rags? Nothing, really. I didn't know him. Who cares about the dead body? We might be dealing with a malignant entity here. You've got a great view of the courtyard and you didn't see or hear anything Sunday night? I'm sorry, Detective, but as you know, I usually have my headphones on when I'm working. It shuts out most of the daily ruckus behind my window. What do you mean by the daily ruckus? Well, there's always something going on in the Whirling's backyard. She stops to try and come up with an example. During daytime, there are usually those kids, and lately I've been seeing a lot of drunk workers hanging about. Must be because of the strike. She's not sorry to disappoint you. Informing on someone in a murder investigation would intrude upon her focused existence. She looks up at the window. Pale light comes in. But I never saw anyone during that fateful Sunday night, I'm afraid. And you never took your eyes off the work to look out of the window? I might have, she admits, but in this case all I would have seen is my own reflection staring back from the darkness. Yeah, that's accurate. It's really hard to make anything out in the yard when it's dark outside. Besides, I really get up to look out the window when I'm in the zone. Do you often work Sunday nights? It's an odd profession, making dice for people, but I like it, and I prefer doing this to sitting at home. Well, she doesn't know much about that. Where are we anyway? What is this place? We're inside the chimney of an old central furnace. It's strange, I know. She looks at the ruddy bricks that make up the walls. Even though they've been repainted, there are still signs of coal black soot here and there. But when I arrived here, all the other rooms were taken, so I had to build myself a makeshift home. Besides, I don't really have to pay any rent here, so that's a plus. Placence was right. There's an entity living in the chimney. You should ask her about the curse. I've heard this place is cursed. Did you know that people call it the doomed commercial area? It's not cursed. Or at least she's not. I've heard the stories, she nods as the wind howls in from the furnace shaft above. But I don't think those stories are true. How do you explain what happens to all those companies, then? Or Placence is the one who sent me. She's convinced that the place is swarming with malicious energies. I'll ask her the straightforward question. It's just capitalism, she shrugs. We only hear about tales of success, so it's often surprising to realize how many ventures actually fail. Unpleasantly accurate. Plaisance, the bookshop lady? She raises her brows. I've heard that her business is doing rather well. Have the energies spared her somehow? Actually, the bookstore isn't doing that well. There are hardly any customers, and she has to exploit her own daughter to keep the company going, which is accurate. The curse is just biding its time before it strikes. Sooner or later, everyone will fail. I don't believe in the curse, so... I don't know why the bookstore hasn't gone bankrupt yet. That's why I'm here to investigate. Alright, but it's not just the bookstore that's still up and running. What about the Whirling in Rags? Some people say it's part of the building complex. The Whirling in Rags is part of a doomed commercial area? That's interesting. You could say so. Both houses were built at the same time and under the East Delta Commerce Center project. The Whirling isn't doing well either. Its waitress just took off, and customers have trouble paying bills. And then there's me, she sighs, looking at her messy work table. All kinds of tools lie there scattered, from knives to carving files to wire cutters. I've been here for 14 years, selling novelty dice to role-playing enthusiasts. Not exactly a million-rail business idea, yet somehow I've survived despite the talk of malicious energies. Strange, isn't it? It's because she's in cahoots with the demons. No. Plaisance thinks it's because you're the source of it. It's because you're competent and dedicated to your craft. The curse doesn't affect people like you. If the curse is capitalism, it definitely does. The curse will get to you, have no doubt about it. It just doesn't care for earthly time frames. I'll be the first to admit there are many inconsistencies in the so-called curse. I was just about to ask. She leans forward in her chair to study your face. What do you think? Do you think the curse is real? The jig is up! The she-demon knows you've uncovered her true identity! God, the writing in this is so good. The she-demon knows you've... Oh. Time has come to face the source. Fear not, for the forces of the universe are supporting you in the psychic quest. Shut up, brain! I think it still might be you that's causing this. Narrow your eyes, very mysteriously. Starting to see that there is no curse. Only business decisions and natural market fluctuations. I would argue more than natural market fluctuations, but yeah. Like, businesses fail all the time, and in places where people don't have a lot of money to spend, more businesses fail, shockingly. Exactly, she pinches the root of her nose. Truth is always so disappointingly mundane and boring. But I'm glad we got this sorted out. Anything else I can help you with today? So I can try to, like, intuit why her business hasn't failed, which is curious. My shivers is only 5. This is a 14 score. I'm not actually too concerned about that. Because, honestly, I don't... Like, I think the reason is she's got a fairly dedicated market and not a lot of competition. You know what happened to other tenants? Everyone else is gone. More or less. She adjusts the yellow scarf that covers her hair. Are you interested in anyone specific? Oh, quite a lot of them spring to mind. Rats scuttle in the dark rooms under the abandoned blow dryers and dusty mannequins. Cobwebs cover rotors and radio computers alike. So much failure. There used to be a hair... Whoops. I clicked on the wrong one, but what happened to the gym? It wasn't merely a gym. It was Artemitip's boxing club, a community project created to steer at-risk youths from away from drugs and crime. Who was Artemitip? I don't know. A kind man from Ziemsk. I'm told he had some trouble with the law when he was younger, and that's why he wanted to start the gym, as a way of giving back. Maybe that's what Kuno needs, a community-centric boxing club. Kuno. Her eyes narrow in the dim light. Who's Kuno? He's a little ginger gremlin who likes to defile dead bodies. Oh yes, you mean the kid with the sailor's mouth? Yes, I've heard him yelling profanities in the backyard. She looks out of the window. It's oddly quiet there at the moment. I think it will take more than a gym to help that kid. How did the community project work out? It didn't. If anything, it made the youth situation in Martinez even worse. At some point, someone started a rumor that the punching bag downstairs was full of amphetamines. You should have known it. It's not really full of that. No one would store their drugs like that. Eventually, the coalition took away the funding and the club went bankrupt. This was a few years ago. It's gotten much more peaceful around the plaza ever since. There used to be a hair salon here. Yes, I think it was called Androgynous Orlando or something similar. They weren't a big hit around here. It turns out that working class men don't like genderless haircuts. They're scared of that word. Yeah, I can imagine that that's kind of common, unfortunately. You wouldn't like it either. The others would laugh at you. Fuck you, buddy. I can be as androgynous as I like. What's wrong with a bit of experimenting? I would never let androgynous touch my hair. Not even if my life depended on it. What's wrong with a bit of experimenting? I guess it just wasn't the time yet. She tucks a strand of hair under the headscarf. What's up with the broken windows? Oh, this one's a mess, she sighs. There used to be a company that promised to repair windows 24 hours a day. What could go wrong with this one, right? Turns out the business was actually set up as a front for an illicit group that was producing snuff milieus. Who would have guessed? So snuff films were very an incredibly illegal but shockingly common type of film where when characters died, they were basically just films of people being killed. And presumably, since there's a lot of radio here, that's what she means by snuff milieus. As in, like, radio plays of people actually dying. And they never cleaned up the debris either. Now it's just littering the hallway, and I have no idea how to get rid of it. Oh wait, he's going to ask what a snuff milieu is. So, it's a sub-Rosa radio station that broadcasts. Yeah, I was right. Real murders with real victims. Some people pay good money to get off on it. What does she mean to get off on it? That's horrible. Were they arrested? I believe the ICP got them. They have a special division that deals exclusively with sub-Rosas. In any case, I don't think it's your job to worry about what happens on milieus. I probably shouldn't have even mentioned it. Things like that are better forgotten. Did someone here make stuffed animals? I saw mouse lying around. You mean Mr. Fabrun, the taxidermist? No, he mostly just did drugs. I love how candid she is. But what drugs exactly? I need to know what drugs he was doing for my police report. He got high on some weird taxidermy chemicals. I wouldn't recommend it to anyone. Eventually they caused him to lose control of his bladder. The smell was awful. Even you can probably do better than that. You can almost see it. A small, sickly old man hunched behind his work desk, his pants stained with old piss, stuffing a sad, stiff-legged raccoon dog. The entire scene is tragic. I found creepy mannequins. There used to be a fashion atelier here, but I have forgotten the head designer's name. They were doing well for a couple of years until the insect rights activist came. What? Why would insect... The atelier produced a certain collection that used chitin among the materials. Apparently chitin is made in the Occident, where it's extracted from beetle wings. Oh. And you know how all kinds of political movements are big in the Occident. The activists shut down the biggest chitin suppliers, which of course caused the price to skyrocket. And naturally, all the most fashionable tastemakers refused to be seen in chitin from then on. The atelier went bankrupt before they could finish the collection. Okay, so it's the equivalent of, like, fox fur or something like that. But insects don't have any brains or feelings? Actually, insects do have brains, she corrects you. But yes, I understand what you're saying. I think the protesters took it a little too far. As she shifts around, you notice several dead flies on the windowsill in front of her. Legs up, they're not moving. Anything else? What's with the rotor blades and skis? They were made by a company called Slipstream. After they pivoted from making rotor blades to skis, their chief executive took off on vacation with all their money. She rests her chin on her hand with an impish smile. Honestly, I think it's quite funny. I think he's still sending out holiday transmissions from Tolula or Teomutri or Kushtcore or wherever he is. Ooh, I stumbled over those. Interesting. What do these transmissions say? The usual, I imagine, that he's been thinking up all kinds of new business plans and can't wait to get started on them as soon as he returns. She laughs and turns around in her chair. The Slipstream is history now. All their remaining assets got seized by the bailiffs in 47. I have no idea why those skis and blades are still lying around in the warehouse. They were just props. Why return them? I found a strange machine. Fortress Accident, the radio game station. She closes her eyes as some remnant of a memory lights up her face. She liked them. They were an interesting bunch. They talked about role-playing systems every now and then. Once I saw that two of them get into fisticuffs over Wirral. They certainly took their work very seriously, even if they seemed to be chronically liberal with their schedules. What do you mean liberal? What happened? The usual. They ran out of money and couldn't get the project done on time. What went wrong? Well, I did hear them talking at times. She looks at the hallway as if she can still hear them chit-chat behind her curtains on a cigarette break. They seem to believe they were historical individuals on some grand quest. From what I've seen so far, the project did look impressive. Yes, but when the money started to run out, they just began to complain a lot about capitalism. You know, how the markets are rigged to keep out new businesses and so on. Not entirely untrue. In the end, they just didn't get it done. They didn't have enough willpower to produce something truly historic and to show up to work on time. Yeah, the first part you can argue is like market forces. The second part is if you want to make something, you have to work. It sucks, but it's life. She's right. Showing up to work on time is important. Showing up to work on time is hard. No, scratch that. Showing up to work at all is difficult, especially if you've been drinking. That's too bad. I would have supported them. The project looked great. Not the wisest decision. You would have lost all your savings. She tosses a pair of dice on the table. One of them stops near the edge of the metallic desk. The result is 1 on a 20-sided die. Ooh, she got a nat 1. I'm sorry, novelty dice maker, but that is a critical fail. The die is black and filled with little silvery flakes, like snowfall. Anything else? There's a terrifying taxidermy bear in the cellar. Oh boy, the fabled Revachol Ice City. You're in for a treat here. She smiles and leans closer, hands on her knees, like a stand-up comedian ready to tell a story. The place was owned by 2 guys who had some rather innovative ideas about marketing. The bear was one of them. Now ask me about the other ideas. Alright, what about the other ideas? There was really just one, and it involved picking out the prettiest girls in the neighborhood and paying them 20 cents per hour to man the booth. That's not crazy. And by man the booth, I mean slump behind the counter with the face that could maim you if you ever dared to disturb their bored magazine browsing. She leans back, disapproving. Sounds like she really didn't like those girls. Frick does the same thing. Yes, it does. And it gets the same results. I know a girl just like that. She works in Frit as a cashier, and she's not particularly friendly. Employing sulky teenage girls is a widespread practice, yes. Unfortunately, they always come in packs. I'm talking about acne-ridden girlfriends and gorilla-like boyfriends loitering near the shop. At least that's what happened with Revachol Ice City. And they already had the bear. She closes her eyes as if remembering something painful. What about the bear? The bear, she repeats, pressing her thumbs into her temples like trying to suppress a headache. It didn't work out? Of course not. The bear was terrifying. No one wants ice cream guarded by a hostile apex predator. To make matters worse, the fridge didn't work too well either, and half the ice cream came out malformed and partially melted. Ooh! Eventually Revachol Ice City lost a price war to its rival, Glacé 5000. Glacé 5000 sold caramel sundaes for only 5 cents a piece, out of regular fridges. I'm sure the bear was doing its best. Maybe, because the taxidermist who made that bear definitely wasn't. Doing his best, I mean. The bear is still running because no one turned off the power. How come? He said that the bear was his vision beast. He said he met his vision beast while high on desiccants. He called it Megatherion. Scary, but cool. What's a vision beast? Actually, I just want to focus on Megatherion. Megatherion, not the dice maker. A mega wild beast. What's a mega wild beast? It's an imaginary beast that guides you through life. By telling you to do more drugs, mostly. A wise and noble beast, guiding you toward the land where the streets are paved. With drugs! The horrific necktie tightens around your neck, strangely excited. It doesn't feel particularly fun this time around. Not now, you beast! No, that'll freak her out. I don't do drugs. Very good. You shouldn't do them, not the dice maker. You're a police officer, after all. I mean, I smoke cigarettes and I drink alcohol, but I don't do drugs. Anyway, now you know the story of the fallen ice cream empire. She seems almost sad finishing the story. Some dust beams swirl in the afternoon air. Her eyes follow it idly. Outside it's light. Light scatters from the low-hanging cloud cover. There's always the threat of snow. Well, that's everything there. Yeah, I'm pretty sure her business hasn't failed for the obvious reason. As I said, she has a dedicated market and almost no competition. Why are you telling me I have a new item? Oh yes, I picked up this postcard. Is there anything else back here? No? Okay, so I figured out who the ghost was. I want to see if that's enough time for the icebox to have thawed. Why do they go back to the creepy music immediately? At this point, I know there's nothing super creepy going on, but it's still creepy music. I should unplug the bear, just because, fucking look at that thing, it's terrifying. Yeah, me too, Arrow, unfortunately, and it's kind of creeping me out. Let's see if I have a better chance truthing this now that it's thawed a little bit. Machine unplugged? No! Machine unplugged gave me a +2, but the pry bar just still isn't strong enough. It literally hasn't improved my chances at all. So I think I'm just going to have to either come back a later day when it has thawed further, or come back when I've got a better pry bar. Okay. But what I can do now is... Wait. Ooh, more stairs? More creepy things to explore? A cellar window. People's feet shuffling by on the street. Oh no. Okay. There's nothing actually to explore here except... a few sets. Okay. I think I'm done with that for now. Go speak to the owner of the bookstore and tell her that she's basically being kind of paranoid, that there's no ghost. There's just someone running a legitimate business. There is this here, which is like an intercom. Which I didn't even notice this before. An old call box with a matrix of push buttons lists all the companies in the East Delta Commerce Center. Oh, this is so cool. So these are all the businesses, but of course most of them don't exist anymore. Main Hall Building A, Andro Orlando Hair. We know which one that is. Morning, Captain Morningwood. Very good name, by the way. The game is, yes, complicated, incredibly fun, possibly the best writing I've ever come across in a game. Excuse me. It's actually one of my favorite recent experiences in games. It can be hard, but at least so far, there hasn't been a single moment where it's felt like I cannot recover from failure. Failure tends to lead to just a different path, not the end of the game. Yeah, so it is great. If you have the opportunity, I highly recommend this. If you like murder mysteries, if you like adventure games, if you like just good writing, it fulfills all of those. So this is the hair salon, which we knew about. This was the gym. 24-hour window. They were doing the murders. Emma's Fashion Atelier. Fabron's Taxidermy. We know what the rest of that is. Slipstream SCA. Fortress Accident SCA. River Show Ice City. East Delta Pinball. Now that's interesting because I don't know anything about pinball. No one's mentioned that. No one answers your call. Empty card. Will this be the dice lady? This button looks new, but someone has removed the name card. Nothing happens when you try to ring it. East Delta Pinball, though. That's very interesting. I am curious if the Whirling will answer. Nope. Okay. So, now we know that there is no ghost, there is no malicious entity, there's just another person doing business. Which probably won't make this lady happy, but whatever.
What have you found? And also, do buy the books. There may be teachings in them.
I talked to the entity you told me about. Her name is Nia, and she's a novelty dice maker. A novelty dice maker? Her eyes widen. Well, spit it out. What does she... why does she need the dice? Some kind of sorcery? Sometimes they use the ankle bones of sheep. She's not a sorceress or some malicious entity. She's a businesswoman, like you. No, ma'am. I have felt her aura. She is not the one to blame for this curse. I feel like this is the way to talk to her more than anything. She looks perplexed. I don't understand. If it's not her, then where is the source of the doom? How did she explain the curse? Before you say anything, ask yourself, is the woman really able to withstand the truth? The narrative she's built herself, it does need tearing down. Just don't say you have just don't say you don't have any answer yet. The uncertainty is killing her. Cap'n, these over here, basically you have elements of your personality. So, endurance, logic, suggestion, Inland Empire is basically your imagination. And all of these can talk to you throughout the game. And so these are giving me suggestions on how to answer her. The source is in the taxidermist's shop. He became involved in arts darker than taxidermy and brought the void spirits upon his place. You know, that's a good lie. She'd like that lie. I think that would satisfy her more than anything else. The truth is, there is no curse. Because it's just... It's capitalism. Don't have any answers yet. That's a terrible thing to say to her. There is another entity, more malignant, pulling the strings in Martinez. Perhaps in my travels I will cross paths with it. That's not a terrible one. Yeah, there is an entity behind the entity. I think that's the best one. A third order presence, yes. She lets go of the pendant. A great dark relief washes over her. I've heard of these triactors in certain occult literature that's too dark to dwell on for too long, and definitely not in public. She gestures for you to be silent. Heck, that's a lot of experience. I understand everything, sir. Thank you for descending into the maelstrom. I will keep Fort up here, strengthen the wards, do my best. And if you happen upon the third entity in your travels, she performs an X-shaped cross on your chest. May the Lord be with you. Yes, the venture continues in other waters, darker waters. Farewell for now, book peddler. Cool. So I've got another point. Let's take a look at some of these that I can redo. Damaged ledger. Why is it not showing me where the damaged ledger is? Kuno, empathy, legendary. Fuck him. Well, here's the thing. Accurate, but she doesn't need to know that. I don't want to do any of the crazy hard ones. Knick-knack stand, interfacing, easy. Interfacing, challenging. Maybe I'll improve my interfacing. Which is not something I've done a lot of. Which one's interfacing? Sounds like probably physique. And yet it's not. Interfacing, there we go. Thank you, Juice. I do need that. And that as well. Thank you. Master machines. Pick locks and pockets. It's set in... so, yeah, gold. It's set in a fictional world. Roughly in this world equivalent to France. So the country names are invented, and it seems to be set like in the late 50s, early 60s, based on what I've seen. It's a little bit difficult to figure it out because of the fact that it's purely fictional. Like, as far as I can tell, there was no World War II, or equivalent to it, but there have been a number of other conflicts between countries that don't exist. It can be a little bit confusing. Wait, so it's late? Is it in the 80s or the 70s? I don't know when bell bottoms were. Look, I'm just guessing. I'm very confused as well. I'm going to level up interfacing. Because that's a super useful one. Late 60s, early 70s. Listen to Juice. Asian AG Phoenix, thank you so much for the follow. You are truly some pig. I wanted to check out this wall. I'm sure it's not actually important, but I wanted to check it out. It's conceptualization? Map wall? The map wall is different to the backyard wall. Cool, I'm in entirely the wrong place. Although part of the reason for that is because this map is quite difficult to read. I don't blame them, by the way. It's a very interesting way to do the map. Is this where the map wall is? Is there something here? Ooh! What's this? A thing I haven't clicked on? Yes! More money! Whoops. No? Okay, I cannot head up there. It's drizzling. The books are going to get ruined. I'm so confused. I'm looking for something and I don't know where it is. I'm only supposed to do this on Wednesday, and since it is not currently Wednesday, I don't think I should do that yet. Oh? Fingerless gloves give me more electrochemistry? Stoogly. I can also try to steal from Sealing at some point. But I don't know that I want to do that. I'm just super confused about this map. Because I don't even remember the map wall. The map wall is inside the bookstore. And allows me to potentially steal a postcard. Okay, so I just leveled up a skill that is best for stealing. So if I'm going to do this, I should do it when Kim isn't here. Because Kim would be disappointed, and I don't want to disappoint Kim. Because Kim is the actual best. Hi, lady. Don't worry about me. TTV Dan, thank you so much for the follow as well. Truly, you are some pig. Several maps have been attached to a bulletin board hidden inside the alcove. They're held up by small pins. The board has come loose from one corner. Oh, the art in this game is great. The writing is great. There's so much to love. The maps look old and faded. Your eye catches a map of Insulinde, a map of Revachol, and a map of Martinez. So I never looked at the map of Insulinde. This large map displays archipelagos. You see a constellation of small dots on the light blue emptiness of the Insulindic Ocean. The largest in the northeast is Le Caillou, where you are. Another far away in the southwest, Seminese Islands, Ile de Fantôme. What else? Ozone, Laurent... Oh, God. Okay, I'm going to try to read all these names. Ozone, Laurentide, Fas et la Mer, Archipelagos, North Arcade Islands, all just specks of dust on the vastness of the Insulindic. On the edges of the map, the colour fades into a blur of dotted lines, black and white. In the northeast, a dust mite stands on the north coast of Caillou, in a bookstore. It's you. Radiating outwards from you, the suzerain Revachol. With a radius of 80 kilometers, still the crown jewel of this isla would be barely visible. Can you see cities on the islands? You can. On Caillou, Revachol, a single black star. On Ozone, Fond de l'Air, and Vermendieu. On Archipelagos, Crayon, Moraine, Villiers. On Seminine, Olduvai. On Laurentide, Diora of the Seven Seas. I am reading this so slowly. I don't speak or read French, and then on top of that, these are all invented names. Lost little pearls of light, tiny fires in the dark. Look at the edges. The ocean breaks apart into a tangle of cosines and azimuths, all pointing into pale nothingness. Mundi is the north azimuth, Grad is the northeast azimuth. Samara is the east azimuth, Seol is the west azimuth. Isola, as they're called. Connections to other worlds, worlds past the Insulindian, unknown to you. You only know you've never been there. You have little idea what they are. distant stars, gods, but looking at them makes you feel almost non-existent. Whatever they are, the Isulas are immeasurably large compared to you, and very, very far away. Perhaps they are gods, gods of distance and dust. Storekeep, can I buy these maps? I'm sorry, officer, the map of Martinez is the only one available. The other two are not for sale anymore, and besides, you could scarcely afford them. They're quite valuable, though they might not look it. The map of Martinez is 90 cents, though. Yeah, it sounds like that, Juice. Which would put it probably more similar, like, in culture it's clearly French, but in geography it's probably something more like the Caribbean. You seem to underestimate my resources, but sure, okay. Where's the challenge? Yeah. Didn't I already buy this card? Why did it say I could redo this? It specifically said that this was a redoable challenge. Well, having any skill improved will still help me. Game's not broken. I probably just misread something. I can try to steal from C. Lang, though. I mean, he kind of deserves it. He's already selling stolen goods.
You keep coming back. That's good, officer. Keep browsing those clothes. Keep saving that economy.
You find your hands deep in tattered and faded garments, made from weird polyester blends that make your body itch and sweat in all the wrong places. Economical, but also trendy, the street vendor shouts. Look first-hand, buy second-hand. Keep the economy moving. Find something worth salvaging from that pile of rags? This one really doesn't bother me, so I will take the risk. And success! Something cold grazes your hand. Synthetic and sleek. A windbreaker. Surf, it says, but also wind, summer, 100% waterproof, and sport. All in different typefaces. Fuck, I've had coats like that. This jacket is the apex of human evolution. The moment at which man became weatherproof. Practical, and yet it may deaden your senses to the world around you. Possibly because of the awful typeface. Good choice, officer. Mega sporty. And it's only $4.50 for you. Ooh. +1 composure, -1 shivers. I don't think I want that. FALN speakers on a pedestal of speakers. You see two lovely defeated speakers. Thralls, slaves basically, perched atop them like conquerors surveying the land. A pair of FALN durable wear sneakers, Ultra Series.
I can see you have a taste for luxury, officer. Can't keep your eyes off those sneakers?
I really thought there was a thing I could steal from him. Maybe I'm completely wrong. Inspect the sneakers. Design is impossibly sleek and simple. A futuristic silhouette with a sleek monochrome colorway, a jet black upper, and a silver-lined midsole. Oh my god! I do not have +1 reaction speed, +1 hand-eye coordination. -1 encyclopedia, but that's not the most useful, to be honest. Oh, I really want them, but I cannot afford them. These once respectable speakers have been conquered, reduced to a mere prop by the indomitable FALN Ultras atop them. No, don't look at the speakers, officer. Look at the sneakers. The man points to the footwear. The sneakers are the star here. But I already looked at the sneakers. Then look at them again. These are premium lifestyle sneakers, officer. They're best on the market. Can't I just buy the sad Conquered Samarin speakers? No way, officer. Those aren't for sale. They're bad speakers. Lo-fi socialist junk. That's why I want them. I think I might be lo-fi socialist junk myself. Oh my god. Oh my god, this game is perfect. Also, that is such a mood. I think I might be lo-fi socialist junk myself. No, officer, you're a high-class policeman who accepts nothing less than the best. Lucky for you, I've got the best on sale. You don't know what I am. I don't even know it myself. I want the speakers. Well, if you want them, he pauses for a moment calculating. But see, they're the pedestal for my sneakers. If I let go of the speakers, where will my sneakers go? I can't leave premium lifestyle sneakers on the ground. If, on the other hand, you wanted to buy the sneakers too, I could maybe throw in the speakers for a little extra, 50 cents. Damn, so you have to buy the sneakers first. Yuck. I mean, that was probably useless anyway, but I thought it was funny to try. There's a pile of cheap sunglasses in a small box, a variety of shapes and colors.
You like sunglasses, officer? I've got the latest styles right here.
Try the shades on. Abort! These are hideous. What's more, they don't even fit your face. You can feel them pinching your nose and chafing against your brow. Damn, officer, you look like a mega secret spy. Very secret, the man nods eagerly. They're practically made for you. I'll let you have them for 2 real and 50 cents. They're perfect for concealing your bloodshot and baggy eyes. Rummage through the box. These are all boring. Boring third-rate ho-hum sunglasses made of cheap Ceres plastic. Kind of plastic that melts in the sun. That's a problem for, you know, sunglasses. These are all first-rate sunglasses, the man declares. Premium design, superb material, very cool UV resistant. These will definitely keep your eyes safe and cool while doing dangerous police work. What are you knowing, Arrow? Oof. Fuck it, it's a white check. Try again. Maybe you can find some interesting sunglasses in the box. Yes, it's sad not getting the speakers. Maybe when I have more money. Yeah, I didn't think so. No luck. All you find is this lime-colored cellophane visor, produced by a bargain sportswear brand called Amphibian, apparently. There's a malformed green frog on its bent cap. Can I get the frog cap? Fuck, 6 real? I can't afford that. Oh, that visor is perfect for you, officer. It'll definitely keep the sun out of your eyes while you're shooting criminals. I don't do that. The street vendor makes a bang-bang sound. And all for a mere 6 real. +1 perception. The ugly glasses give me +1 electrochemistry. No thanks. I really want that visor, though. My god, Luca. And you have joined us. You being a cutie yourself. Lo-fi socialist junk reporting for duty. Thank you, Arrow. Oh. No, but here's the thing. We both confirmed it. I really want this visor. I need you to understand, I really want this visor. Thank you, Juice. Am I going mad? Wasn't there... Those on white are available to try now. This is the knick-knack stand, right? There's also a rhetoric one. But is this not the knick-knack stand? Good, Luca. I'm glad you finally accepted your cuteness. Maybe. I mean, it's certainly a possibility. Let me check in the pawn shop if there's anything new. But yes, also as Luca says, we always need Kim. There's never a time when we don't need Kim. Is this the knick-knack stand? This is the knick-knack stand. Stealth! How dare you? Stealth, thank you so much for the Prime subscription for 8 months. Heck, I love you too, Stealth. Yes. I miss Kim for so many reasons. You see rows of toy soldiers guarding the rest of the trinkets. Displayed on the rest of the trinkets displayed on the table. Some on horseback, others in rags, others yet in bright blue uniforms. All are stern and unyielding in their duty. Inspect the knights on horseback. Big men on big horses, clad in lamellar armor and carrying flintlocks. The kind that would mow down a line of enemy soldiers in the blink of an eye. Stealth, what? It is impossible to go on. Shopkeep, what are these? A classic set. The figurines represent the 5th century Franco-Nigerian cavalry. Inspect the blue uniforms. They're not all blue. These figurines also wear gold coats and caps, complemented by orange trousers. They are variously posed, wielding swords and rifles with bayonets. Yes. Luca and Arrow doing the exact same thing again. I'm very pleased. Wait, this looks like Rene, the old guy who was playing pétanque. That they do. The uniforms are precisely the same. Some even have the same shaped medals pinned to their chests. What exactly are these? Which ones? The man peers from his glass box. Ah, royalist soldiers from the time of the Revolution. The uniforms are painted a bit too brightly, I suppose. Yes, unfortunately. I might change it just to use text instead of user. Because then it will be better for situations like this. Inspect the figurines in rags. This set of soldiers isn't meant to look impressive. A few have rifles, but most of them carry pistols. Some even shovels and tall sticks. Are these even soldiers? You're probably talking about the revolutionaries, yes? The man behind the glance answers. Yes, they are soldiers, revolutionary soldiers. I think their poverty has been exaggerated for effect. When you place them next to the royalists, it doesn't seem like they could possibly win. It's meant to give people hope. Even we can do it. Much too low, Juice. But find a way to get that number higher, because we all know the truth. That's better, Luca. Contrast is meant to be disheartening, as it ought to be. It's impossible to win against the cohorts of capital. Ask my friend Garte, whose bitch it made me. I wish it was more... it's meant to give people hope. Maybe. Oh? What achievement was that? Employ critical theory 9 times. Oh, that wasn't even intentional. Apparently I'm just a big old communist in this game. There is a cooldown, but I don't know why it only seems to be hitting Arrow. He seems to have his own take on the conflict played out in perpetuity by these toys. Might be interesting to find out what it is. Dig up a truly cool figurine in the box under the table. 83%, very good shot. Fuck! Are you serious? Everything you pick out seems faded, chipped, and sad somehow. Most of them are just broken toys. Our achievement. Correct, Juice. Oh, Arrow, why do you curse me even without saying anything? Ooh, is this where I can get a song? I didn't even look up here. Shelf of boomboxes. The boomboxes on the shelf look well loved and well traveled. Chipped, dented, they stare at you with the unblinking eyes of their tape reels. Stand on the tips of your toes to see more. One especially catches your eye. Deep golden amber plastic with a big handle on top. A classic boombox that says Stereo 8 approved. Juice, it was Measurehead. Maybe try it with Measurehead and it will be more accurate. This is you. Golden Orange, a sunset suite. Just make sure it works before you buy it. Shopkeep, the Stereo 8 approved machine here. Is the Harman Waushi W02. Made in Vesper, designed in Seal, he says. Plays all reel-to-reel formats. 2mm, 8mm, 12mm. It's even got a little radio in there. It'll set you back 12 real. So to settle the battle of the Titans, Scraggy, Pinky Lemon, or Comic Spiders? Well, here's the thing. I don't think I have a choice. The betting the Comic Spider is unintentional. I will still kill Scraggy, and I will marry Pinky Lemon. the Scritons. It was a mistake, but I'm glad it made you laugh. Also, thank you, Luca. What I really want to know is, could this device come in handy in my police work? If police work means playing tapes, sure, you can use it for that, or any other time you need to play a tape. You sure it's all in working order? Absolutely. I've tested each one myself with recordings of speech, found sound, and music from a variety of genres. Even though, he grimaces, I don't really like music. I don't have the $12 to spend. It's a hypothetical, Stealth. I feel like I didn't explore this place enough, but also, why the fuck does he have a sawed-off street light? A typical Martinet street light sits among assorted floor and table lamps. Is that a street light? Yes, officer. As you can see, it's in perfect working order. Where did you get this? It was brought to me to be altered. I guess. I do not, Luca. The light pole has been carefully cut, and the wiring has been redone and attached to a standard indoor plug. The light buzzes faintly but persistently. How much for the street light? 700 real. A bargain, I dare say. A bargain? No, it's not. He's trying to sweet talk you into buying trash. Even taking into account the risk of obtaining that light, that seems a bit steep. There's also the matter of rewiring, but the most important transformation is the light's placement among ordinary indoor fixtures, which has adjusted its morphological field. The light became suitable for use inside the home just a few days ago. Why am I looking at this? This is not important. Thank you, Juice. That is accurate and true. Okay. I feel like there's more I can learn from this guy.
How can I help you?
Is Roy high, and if yes, then what is he on? I can equip some things that will up my electrochemistry, I think. Want to ask about my missing gun again? Sure thing. Have people from Everclare's Union come here to track that gun? Here's the thing, Juice. I'm going to go with almost definitely it's possible. It would be tough, but it's almost certainly doable. Maybe. Shady-looking guys came in here yesterday, looking like they'd just taken off their Wild Pines overalls. They asked if I had a police weapon to sell. I told them I already sold it. They went their way. It was a trip, but, you know, all sorts of people come here asking for all sorts of things. Any idea where I can find the buyer? My apologies, officer, but I have no idea where she went, where she was coming from, or where she went. Let's see what I can do to increase my electrochemistry. Just to see if he's high, because I can maybe use that to... I can use that to blackmail him, maybe? That's the wrong word. None of these things... This gives me +1 electrochemistry, which is fine. But let's check what other clothes I have that might affect my electrochemistry. That's +1 electrochemistry, so is that, so that's not really helping me. Oh no. Yes! My gloves give me electrochemistry. Good job, Arrow.
Hello again. How can I help you?
Oh, I need to put skill points in. I can't just do it with clothes. That's unfortunate. Oh well, that didn't work out. So what else can I do without Kim? I could go back to Claire. It seems like a bad move, but... Let's take a look at my journal again. Speak to the assault victim, I do need to do that. Find the cryptozoologist, I can't do that until I can cross the river, which will be Wednesday. Open the apartment door, I've already done that. I didn't want to. Need to pay 20 real to pay for your room. I've already done that. Ask the little girl in the fishing village down the coast. Got to cross the bridge for that as well. No idea how to get into the secret passage yet. Visit apartment 28 sometime after 9 PM to see if anyone's home. That won't happen this stream, probably. Got to find someone else to ask about the tattoo. It might take a while to find this one. That's fine. I don't even know how to start tracking down my badge. Get a hold of a sad song on tape. That's one I'm still struggling with. But I forgot. I can sell things to the pawn shop. I've got a couple of postcards which are worth something. Because the thing is, it's going to cost me 20 real every single night to stay in the hostel. And that gets pricey. These items. So I can sell these postcards. I could potentially sell the rifle, but I'm not too happy about selling a rifle, especially not to this dude.
Hello again. How can I help you?
Something I'd like to sell. I'd like to sell my clothes. No. I have a fascinating photo of a corpse here. You know, fuck it. Oh, no, I don't like those kinds of objects. No sale. He barely even looks at it. You know what the tattoos mean? He frowned. Aphotic paths, counter-radiance networks, anti-magnetism. It's darkness, that's all I know. Sell me something lighter. Okay, then you can access your pawn menu. My understanding is that the postcards are only used for money. If I'm wrong, I probably won't get some kind of secret ending, but that's fine. Altogether, that got me That got me over 30 real, which is pretty good. Puts me in a pretty solid position, money-wise. Not perfect. And hopefully at some point I'll be able to find a free place to sleep. One can always hope. I am, after all, a hobo cop. My standards are pretty low. So I can go tell Claire that I opened up the thing, even though I don't want to. Because Claire is a horrible person. Power of Hobocop. It's interesting. Things like this box, I don't know how to get there. I'm sure they're not super important, but it is still very interesting. I'm always caught slightly off guard when I find things like that, where I just don't even know how to get there. It's not like it's behind a locked door. I wouldn't even know where to start. And that's always curious in games like this. Because, like, you can walk around down there, clearly. But how do you get there? I also wanted to speak to him about... Can I put Renee's photo back? I really kind of want to. Nope. I also want to ask him about that container. Because I can't open it. But I'm curious about it. And if anyone's going to know, it's him. Did I not look at this carrying case? Or is this new? It's not opening. Can I truth it open? Okay, so when something does that, where it won't open, I need to truth it. That's important to know. I thought some things just didn't open. Well, Among Us isn't shitty. I'm assuming you mean you had bad games. Are you tired of Among Us or just tired of playing with certain people? I've still got the normal pry bar, not the fancy pry bar. I don't even know where to look for the fancy one. But I've learned a new use for the truth pry bar, so that's good. So what was wrong with the game, Summer? Just... Oh, yes. That's actually... I hadn't really thought about the cost of these. That's interesting. It doesn't have a price associated, so I wonder if maybe that guy just doesn't buy clothes, because I never actually checked that. But that doesn't mean nobody sells it. Someone else might might buy clothes.
Mr. Dubois, every worker?
Every worker is a living god.
Mr. Dubois, so be it. How can I help you today?
Yeah, what's in that container outside your office? My dear Harry, there are literally millions of containers in this harbour. I couldn't possibly remember what's in all of them. There's something special about it. It was attached to the Kvelsund crane. Harry, you smooth-talking son of a bitch, he says with the fondest of smiles. Time is a precious resource, and I don't have enough of it to count containers with you. Ooh, I'm having a brain thing? Mazovian socioeconomics, also known as communism. I'm apparently going like full communist in this game. 0.000% of communism has been built. Evil child murdering billionaires still rule the world with a shit-eating grin. All he has managed to do is make himself sad. He is starting to suspect Krasmazov fucked him over personally with his socioeconomic theory. It has, however, made him into a very, very smart boy with something like a university degree in truth. Instead of building communism, he now builds a precise model of this grotesque, duplicitous world. So, left-wing dialogue options give +4 experience. I lose some visual calculus and some authority. Now, I believe I can forget this. Oh, okay, it's not an easy thing to forget it. But, to get plenty more experience, that's fun. Yeah, it'll take a whole skill point to lose it, Juice.
Mr. Dubois, every worker is a god, right? What can I do for you today?
I opened the door, you asked me. Can we discuss the murder now? New skill point. I can forget that if I want to. Yeah, it's the son of a bitch again, Zach. I'm very glad to hear that, Harry, he says with a smile. One question. You didn't actually happen to stumble in and see what's inside the apartment, did you? There is no way to sway this man in any direction. He is unsuggestible and unswayable. Just tell the truth. I mean, you know what? Fair, Juice. Yeah, don't lie. I may have gone inside and seen a collection of racist mugs. I think I need to make it clear that I didn't see anything meaningful. Also true, Arrow. Just as I thought. Culturally antiquated mug collection. What a weasel, he shakes his head. Pissing on Everart's Rainbow Coalition. Now let's get down to brass tacks. It's time for men like me and you to figure out who's killed who and why. He pretends to roll up his sleeves. Real police work is going to start happening now. I promise you, Harry, this is going to be good. The mug collection I mentioned was in the apartment. I found a similar mug in the trash with the hanged man's clothes. Racist mugs in the trash and in the apartment? He grabs his head with both hands. You guys are just light years ahead of me. I have so much confidence in the ability of your organization. I'm relieved that you're doing this and leaving me to do what I do best, helping people with the power of politics. Do you think this weasel has something to do with my case? Of course he doesn't. Oh, no. I don't cross paths like that. He shakes his head laughing. All I want is for you to succeed in your investigation. I would never complicate things for you. Weasel might have cleaned up after the killers. Believe me, Harry, he's a nobody. Just your basement variety nobody. Can't imagine him being connected to a high-caliber case like this. But he does live nearby. Maybe it's a pedantic weasel. Fascists are known to be neat freaks. I feel like a real detective now, Harry. Am I getting this right? He imitates bashing something with an imaginary baton. That's not how you baton someone. The technique is way off. You strike with your whole body, not just the baton. There's more to police work than whacking an imaginary baton. No, you have to put your weight behind it if you want to do real damage. I'm just gonna fucking tell him how to do it. And frankly, his weight is sufficient. Oh, Harry, he bursts out laughing. Thanks for the tip. I'll leave doing the real damage to you. You are the real police officer, after all, not me. That's all he's going to say on this subject. I've heard about a connection between the lynching and the strike. I'd like to hear what you know about it. By now, I'm sure you figured out who the dead man was working for. The bad guys, Wild Pines, sent to scare us. Another violent measure of the top hats against us flat caps. I'm listening. Harry, this strike is the culmination of many, many mistakes made by the Wild Pines group. They tried to shut the strike down by sending in armed mercenaries. Our victim? He nods gravely. A security contractor. Can you imagine that? Workers standing in peaceful protest, united in the spirit of fellowship, and they send hired killers to mow us down with machine gun fire. I'm talking beasts, hardened killers from proxy wars in Yset, Semenine, Sarah Marisa. You name it, they've done it. Raping, killing, burning villages, killing little children for the Senorita Pineapple Company, Harry. That is... That's a nice reference to a thing that really happened. If anybody's curious, the US government, except not actually the US government, they did it through kind of proxy corporations, basically started wars and killed lots of people in Central America and the Caribbean in order to keep the price of bananas low, which is part of the reason that bananas are pretty much the cheapest fruit in the world. Because the price was kept low through proxy wars. It was a terrible, terrible time. Actually, I say that, I'm not sure to what extent the US government was involved. It may just have been private dealings, but it was still shitty. Everything they did there, they brought it here. They want to turn Revachol into a third world slum. Honestly, the only thing they didn't do is kill the village elephant. Yeah, it's terrible. As I said, thinking back, I'm not sure that the US government was involved in that one. US government has been involved in some terrible shit. I'm not pretending they weren't, but I don't think they were involved in that. I think that was just banana companies in the US. Oh, the US government was involved. Thank you for adding that detail, Zach. Makes it even better. Hold on, you have a village elephant? No, Harry, the elephant is metaphorical and so is the village, but the mercs and their brutality are very real. Yeah, if you've heard the term Banana Republic, it was literally referring to these literally independent democratic republics that produced huge amounts of bananas, and they wanted to, reasonably, set the prices on those bananas. And the US decided, no, you know what? We want to set the prices on those bananas, and we want to make that price super fucking low for our consumers. So, you know, we're just gonna have US banana companies hire fucking mercenaries to start wars to destabilize nations that were reasonably stable and drive the cost of everything down so we can get bananas for cheap. It's shitty. Go on. Now, I haven't personally witnessed the brutalities out there. I have the luxury of staying in my container. You see, if I need to go somewhere, they just move my container. He laughs. They move the container? Yes, I'm an old man, Harry. My legs aren't what they used to be. They lift my office with that big crane. It's actually very fun. You should try it. He's pulling my leg. But enough about me and my fun container. His face turned serious. The killers the company hired. I think there were 3 of them. All hardened commando types. One of them got downright suicidal, getting drunk, violent, a little rapey. He shakes his head. Even their own negotiator couldn't control him. That's your boy, the one who liked hanging out in trees. How did he end up hanging from that tree? Harry, what you need to realize is, we dock workers are not pushovers. We got grit, Harry. This whole neighborhood does. Push us hard enough and we push back. And when we do, he raises his finger. We push to kill. Who exactly did the pushing? There's a militant wing inside the Union, a group of people whose duties don't involve manual labour, but peacekeeping in the neighbourhood. Make sure everything runs smoothly. That sounds a bit like organised crime. They're like you, idealistic people who want to make sure that bad things don't happen. And if they already have, well, punishment must follow. Again, that sounds like organised crime. You believe they killed the Hanged Man? Mm-hmm. One day, Titus Hardy, leader of this peacekeeping faction, comes up to me and says, "Boss, socialist democratic fervour drove us to take it upon ourselves to kill this beast that was burdening the land." Yeah. He was. So, there's a lot of interesting stuff going on in the story. He probably worded it differently, but that was the idea. Sure sounded to me like they killed him. He chuckles. I gave them 2 weeks paid leave and told them to lay low to avoid retaliation. Are you not afraid? Excuse me. You're not afraid that we're going to arrest them? Oh, I'm not at all worried about that. These are not the kind of men who get arrested. They're Martinez boys, tough and gritty. I'd like to see the man who takes them in. He chuckles. Besides, I sent my lawyer girl to look after them. If he's just boasting, then it sure doesn't feel like that to you. He's not worried. How do you know the mercenaries were hired by the shipping company? How do I know? Let me tell you about these people. He slams his fist on the desk. That's their MO. It's what they do. Last winter, some poor workers in Terminal E went on a little strike. The company sent in Sediment, a security contractor. The strike was over the workers' rights to wear protective footwear, Harry. These guys turned up and started beating people. Tell you what, Harry, I wouldn't be surprised if we got the same mercenary company after a little rebranding. I'm sure as hell not surprised to see an army of scabs under my gates. So you think the security contractor organized the scabs? You said it, Harry. Hell, the fist lands on the desk again. One of those guys looks big enough to take down that proverbial elephant. Boys like that don't just happen to show up during strikes. The name of the company is Krenel this time. It might have been Sediment before. Of course, you're always one step ahead of me, Harry. I'm no genius. I'm in this position because people like me. The remaining mercenaries are organizing a tribunal to take on the Hardys. Tribunal? He appears aghast. That sounds serious, Harry. We Union men should be shitting ourselves. He rubs his chin and smiles suddenly. I wish you hadn't told me that. I'm going to lose sleep over this. Let's change the subject. Oh, I fucking hate him. He's clearly happy about the tribunal. You don't seem too worried about it. Oh, Harry, what do I really think about the tribunal? You're trying to climb to second base with old Everard before you've even courted him properly. Ugh. Ugh. That sure is an image. You mentioned a lawyer girl? Oh, Liz is a bright one. He grins broadly. Correct, Luca. That is the accurate response. I paid for that law degree myself, thinking it'll probably turn her all fancy. But hell, Harry, she came back a firebrand socialist. Sometimes she scares me with her zeal. Tell me about Titus Hardy and his crew. Oh, they're simply fine young men, all 7 of them. Exemplary Union members, always working to advance their position in the local socialist democratic movement. Core members. Old Theo used to run them, but things really kicked into gear when Titus took the reins and named the group after himself. He starts laughing. Gotta love this initiative. Theo was in charge of them? Theo the dude outside? That's curious. What more can you tell me? Who's second in command? Who's the most violent? Harry, they're almost all of them great guys, born leaders. Whatever happened, I'm sure they only had the best interests of Revachol in mind. Heck! Luca! No, Chen! Chen, thank you for the gift sub to Luca. Luca, you're a prize pig, and Chen, You keep doing this. I appreciate it so much. Also, welcome, Chen. I love you. Work with them. Hell, interview them, but don't fight them. They really are just like you. Men who like beer, women, and some order on the streets. That's him allowing the police to ask his main questions. Heck! Chen giving another sub, this time to Zach. Chen, you're such a good egg. My god, how do you manage it? Oh. I really appreciate it, Chen. You are a cutie, and you continue to be you continue to make me incredibly happy. You make me happy in any way, by the way. This has got nothing to do with the gift subs. The gift subs make me happy, but you make me happy independently. You didn't realize your sub ran out and you could have used your Twitch Prime? Well, then you can give your Prime Gaming to somebody else, Zach. Everard, I met these Hardys. Can you ask them to cooperate with me? It is Twitch Prime, of course it is. But of course, it's the least I can do for my good friend Harry. I'll do it right after we've concluded this talk. Prime Gay Ming Dynasty pottery, or whatever. Chen with the bed, wed, behead. A bed, a wedding, and a guillotine. I will behead the bed in order to make it the appropriate size for a child. I will bed the wedding so that the husband and wife have somewhere to consummate, and I will wed the guillotine so that I may use it to, destroy corporations. Prime Gaming Dynasty Warrior salute. Yeah, I decided not to go the obvious route. You can now go and tell Titus about this. See what he has to say. Also, Harry, here's 5 real. He holds out a banknote. Why are you giving it to me? I'm not giving you anything. I'm just holding out 5 real. You know what? I'm fine with money. I don't want to take money from this man. No, Juice, I haven't, but I know that concept of games. Where you each person basically adds one word to a sentence. Yeah, I don't need it. I only wanted you to help me with the Hardy Boys. Oh, I wasn't offering it to you. Just holding it out there. He pockets the bill. But I'm willing to share information. Was there anything else? Was it a good talk? He leans back, suddenly worried. I'm not sure we made much headway here. I was hoping we'd bust the case wide open. Heck, I even wanted to tell you what I really want to achieve with the strike. I don't know what happened, Harry. I wanted you to feel like Mr. Martinez, and of course, I wanted you to find your gun. Great sadness comes over him. But it's like I can't completely trust you yet. Yet? Yes, Harry. It's like I can't fully trust you if you're not a man of the left, he says, slowly shaking his head. I want to, but I just can't. Kim left to take the body back to the precinct, which is why I miss him so much. He's been hurt too much in the past by men who aren't social democrats. I'm not a man of the left, I'm a patriot of Revachol. You're right not to trust me. I take care of me. I'm a hustler. I grind. I'm a money engineer. What's that supposed to mean? I'm more left than you are. Frankly, I care more about workers than he does, but whatever. You're saying it, but I don't believe you. You know how it is. Company snitchers, agent provocateurs everywhere. I'm barricaded in this fortress of mine, and I need to get a message out. Will you help me? What would this entail? Once again, I require nothing unethical or illegal of you. I just need to get 2 little signatures on this piece of paper. He pulls out an envelope. And then mail it to my accountant in La Delta. What are the signatures for? I'm glad you asked, Harry. The Union is going to build a modern youth centre in Martinez. He grins broadly. It will be righteous. We're gonna get those teenagers off drugs and on roller skates. Roller skating, not drugs, Harry. You like this? I kind of do. There's a nameless little street on the coast with some old houses around it. Most people have already signed. I just need 2 more signatures to get this mission off the ground. Juice with the big brain. Where is this place exactly? On the coast, Harry, across the canal. There's a cul-de-sac there. A little village, they're calling it. A gloomy place. You'll find it. I trust your detective skills, Harry. Water drips from the eaves. A woman looks at her freshly tarred skiff. There's a pair of cavalry boots under the fish in the box, and the wind howls like a vicious spirit. What'll happen to the current occupants? They're just going to have to deal with the construction noise for 6 months, and then they'll be living like kings, right next to a fancy new youth centre, designed by the best architects from Stella Marie. I don't think that's a terrible idea. I thought it would involve demolition. I think he is generally not a good person, but this task in particular, I am willing to accept. Yes, good plan, bad person, but bad people can do good things. You bring joy to my heart, Harry. Such a pleasure to be working with you. Here. I don't like gentrification either. Yeah. But at the same time, like, giving kids a safe place to hang out is important. You need to get signatures from Isabel Sadie and Lillian Carter. The cul-de-sac is right past the pawn shop and across the canal. I hear there is some trouble with the water lock, but they should fix it by Wednesday morning. Once you have the signatures, mail this to 13022 La Rocca in La Delta. Then I'll know you're a solid socialist. He runs his fingers through his hair. Turns out the strikers were being served an alcoholic brew. I stopped this madness. I don't know what that means, Harry, but I love it. He chuckles. I love your initiative. Knowing you're out there, keeping things running, lets me focus on the big picture stuff. Well, that is the issue, Chen. So, like, keep in mind, I accepted the task. I have not followed through on the task. Sometimes navigation in this game is real fiddly. So yeah, as I said, I accepted the task. I don't need to follow through on the task. Especially if I go and see the village and it's super nice and, like, there's no sign of kids really needing a youth center. I can certainly try to. Yes. You take the legal documents out of the envelope. A 12 to... I'm sorry. He said construction for 6 months. This is a 12 to 40 month construction period. And a zoning plan? There's also that, Jen. Because, yeah, what a community wants is often very different to what developers want. The youth center cuts into the ocean like the bow of some great modern ship. Apparently it's going to cover most, if not all, of the streets and the square between the existing houses. It's 3 stories tall. Fuck this dude. Fuck this dude. Try to find a loophole in the deal. Ugh. There doesn't seem to be anything of interest here. No fine print. You're smart. You can read. I am going to... You know what? Let's improve my logic and try this right now. Ooh, that's as high as my logic can possibly go. Ooh. Well, let's take a look if I have any clothes that can improve my logic. That's +1 logic already. And this is +1 logic. Do any of these improve my logic at all? Nope. So, now let's try this again. Nah, I'm not going to save scum. Oh no! Oh no, it's an 83% chance. But Arrow is here. Arrow, do I have your blessing, or are you going to curse me this time again? Okay. Well. Okay, I thought that was red for a second. There is no loophole. The simple truth is the current residents are going to lose their street access for the next 12 to 40 months. And for the next 12 to 40 months, their lives will be dominated by constant construction noise right next door. What are the ramifications of this? Once the construction starts, it'll probably take a few months, a year maybe, for even the most stubborn occupants to get tired of living like this. After that, they'll sell their property for cheap and move out. Oh, interesting, Mr. I'm for the people. Can't I do something? Well, you could trick Everard. Get some random people to sign the document. By the time the union boss finds out, your business here will already be concluded. Okay. Knuckle crack. I'm going to get him to trust me by lying to him. Because that's what he fucking deserves. I'm gonna put on my better glasses again. He needs 2 specific signatures.
Oh, hey, mister. I need to be back to talk with old Leo here. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. It's like Lady Larisse said when she opened a bathhouse in the basement of my apartment building. They can only get so far before they're aching to get back. And a lot of folks really did keep coming back.
Leo, I love you. No trouble at all, mister. No trouble at all. It's like the old saying goes. Wisdom withers if not shared. And old Leo is always for sharing. Okay, there's nothing more to ask him. Okay. So, Everard is a son of a bitch. Like, we knew that, and yet somehow he still managed to make me angrier at him. There are a couple more places I want to go. Is it possible to get up onto the roof? It is not. Okay. Well, it's a very interesting question. I suspect Everard is nowhere near as left-leaning as he claims to be. I suspect he manipulates the... the workers, but I think he is in it for nothing more than the money. Accurate, Tom. I mean, I guess. Whoops, whoops, no. There we go. Ah, that's why. So the question is, whose signatures could I get? If I just need 2 rando signatures, it could be me and Kim. That's a good point, Juice. Remember, it's 12 to 40 months. They've got plenty of time to change plans. There was at least one other thing I wanted to check. Because I don't want to go and do main things without Kim. Mostly because I just love Kim. Now, I couldn't open this before. And it turns out that when something's white and makes that noise, it just means that you have to truth it. I'm glad, Luca. Yeah, when I first started streaming, I was originally going to do what like Barry does, where I just play through a game. But I like the idea of splitting things up into their own days. Ooh. Ooh, this is... I like this coat. Huh. +1 suggestion, -1 half-light. Oh, but this is my RCM patrol cloak. I need this. But look how fucking good I look. I'm sad. I mean, I get the feeling that that's what Kim's going to think, even though it's not technically accurate. Juice, what? Look how dapper I look. No. I'm not talking the whole outfit. I'm just talking the... I'm just saying it's a good looking coat. No, fuck! I've got the garden gloves and the stupid hat. Yes. This was closed. Oh? This cannot even be truthed open, but it's fine. It's fine because I can go over here. I feel like I missed something in here. What happened here? You can't foreclose on an apartment with a hole in the wall. It will still be accessible through the apartment next to it. That one didn't have a door. Sadly, nothing of great value remains here. Except the stuff in the fridge. Indeed. But I can't look in the fridge. That was just 5 experience for fun. Oh yeah, there are several different builds. No, I cannot access that from that side. That's fine. Does this lady know anything? I forget.
Give me a moment.
Cleaning lady still seems to be having difficulty breathing. Who are you? I'm no one, just an old woman who cleans these hallways. Do you live here? If you can call it living. She spits on the floor before wiping it off with the broom. I have a little room upstairs, right next to the coal room. Tom. Oh, there comes the Barry host. Welcome. It's barely bigger than a closet, but I don't complain, no. She juts out her chin, eyes shining. I have my bed and my aching bones to keep me company, and that's all I need from this world. And all she gets, too. The coastal wind beats down hard on the cold room door outside. Splashes of waves make the balcony slippery. I have a few questions about those apartments. Ask away, policeman. Do you know who lived in the foreclosed apartment? The hell am I supposed to know? The cleaning lady shrugs, her mouth puckered like a dried fig. Another nut job, I assume. Tom, I'm grateful people are watching. They don't need to join. But yes, also, Tom, you just being you is enough to make people want to join, because why wouldn't they? You are a delight. Chen, why would you make Tom lie? She really doesn't like these nut jobs. Bad blood there. Why is there a hole in the wall in the abandoned apartment? Some lunatic lost his mind. All kinds of morons passed through these walls. Heck, Luca! Why would you say something like that? With how small these rooms are, wouldn't you want to break the wall down? Is one of the residents on vacation? Their mailbox is overflowing. People come and go. I don't keep an eye on everyone. They probably just moved, or died. Hopefully somewhere else. Who lives in apartment number 10? No one lives there. It's been empty for months. But I talked to someone through the door. Impossible, the cleaning lady says, shaking her head. I would know if someone had moved in there. She pauses, eyeing the hallway. Maybe it's those counterculture people again, breaking into our house like it's a public space. You're a policeman. Be good and take a look, will you? I'll see what I can find. Who lives behind the padlocked door? Oh, that one is a scientist, a future scholar. Suddenly the old lady's face is beaming. I think he studies astrology at the community college. Education's good, I always tell them to study. Astrology? Something to do with all these stars around his door. He asked me to leave his drawings up on the wall. You mean the star and antlers? I think that's the symbol of communism. The symbol of what now? You know, the ones who support the working class against capital. It's an ideology. It has some noble aims, but it has been used to justify terrible bloodshed. Hey, fun fact. That can be said of pretty much anything. People really like to use that as like, oh, communism bad. The exact same justification can be used to say almost every religion bad, capitalism bad, atheism bad. Turns out people will use anything to justify being shitheads. It's for loons who have no idea how economy works. It's a symbol for contributing to the demise of our noble state in the name of some made-up world of equality. Or I can just be straightforward, but I get bonus experience when I'm all left-leaning. You're not wrong, Chen, you're not wrong. Uwu is pure and good in all ways. It is the ideology that will one day unite us all. When we go to the stars, it will be in a starcraft with an uwu on the front. The cleaning lady says. I thought Revachol was the capital. What can you tell me about Cindy? The artist? She scoffs. Nothing I can do about her, I'm afraid. She ruins the walls faster than I can clean them. Still, she leaves an old lady to her business, more than I can say for others. Okay. So, can't do anything with that. Which one's number 10? You hear someone walking around inside, rearranging the furniture. The number on the panel says 10. Accurate, Summer. Uwu is love. Uwu is life. This apartment is supposed to be empty. Did you break in here? Excuse me? Of course not. Scare them. Suspected of some big crimes. There's no sweet talking your way in there. Be official. You have plenty of reason to enter. I don't need a warrant if I suspect there's been a break-in. Open the door so I can verify your identity. Are you cooking morphine in there? What the fuck? I'm gonna try number 2. Actually, no, I'm gonna go number 1. Oh, come on! There's a pause before you hear the door being unlocked. Interesting. I still have the truth crowbar in my hand, which must be terrifying for someone to see. Real estate agent? Oh, also the most terrifying smile in this game so far. So, you know, congrats on that. Satisfied? My name is Marielle Charpentier, and I'm an agent with Martinez Realty Associates. I am not breaking in, as I have every right to be here. The keys, see? She jingles a set of keys in her hand. Boy, there are a lot of different keys there. More than 20 at least. Her voice is really cheerful, despite her obviously hating you. Do you want to see my ID as well? You can't legally ask for it, but why not? Want to see my residence permit too? She fumbles through her purse, fishing out a light paper-clad passport. I don't need your ID, I just need to ask you some questions. Very well, but please make it quick. She slips the passport back to her purse and checks her watch. I need to be back in La Delta in an hour. You know what, Chen? Yeah. Her voice being cheerful while she hates us. That is the definition of a mood. What are you doing here? She sighs and looks around. I need to get it ready for the next lease, but as you can see, the previous tenant completely trashed the place. I fuck shit up too. Yeah, she smiles aggressively. Sounds like you've spent too much time undercover in some rock band. Who lived here? It was some kind of moribund old man who used to be a business owner. You'd think they'd make rent. She stops, hesitating. But that was months ago. Anyway, was there anything you wanted, or is that it? I'm in a hurry. Who lived in the foreclosed apartment down the hallway? Oh, that's another huge mess. The former tenant owes us 3 months of rent. 3! We closed the apartment and planned on auctioning off the valuables, but... And again, I have no idea how stupid mistakes like this can even happen, but Ron, when he came to close the door, didn't close the neighbouring door, and there's a hole in the wall. So preppy. She's probably on some low-grade performance enhancers, like Preptide or Pericanine. A hole in the wall, can you believe it? She spreads her hands. And then the tenant ran off with his stuff. He's gone, the money's gone, just like that. She snaps her fingers. The sum must have been puny. Oh, it irks her. The incompetence. My money has also disappeared, I think. It couldn't have been that much money. These apartments look pretty shabby. These apartments are perfectly fine. They have gorgeous architecture, a million real view of the bay, good ventilation, neighbours, life, spark, And they're affordable. I'll tell you, Matinees has a future in a few years. It's going to blossom with artists and creatives and those radio computer wizards. It's as if they're real wizards, able to resurrect dead real estate and breathe life into bank accounts. Hey, Void. Welcome. My money has also disappeared, I think. Well, it does not disappear from my hands. No, I don't let it. So wait, what happened with the wall? Don't ask me what happened with the wall. I have no idea how we're going to find the time or resources to fix it. And thank you for the host, Void. Tell Copper that I say she's cute. Both apartments are now unrentable. Both! She's still shaking her head, manicured hands now crossed over the chest. That's all, thank you. Of course, she replies with a smile, but her eyes remain glazed over. She'd been waiting for you to leave. Well, let me just investigate a few things first. Looks like a fine mattress. A blister pack of medicines peek out of the box. You should take it. Hypnogamma. Ooh, those are morale tablets, and there were 3 of them. Shoes. +1 to indirect modes of taxation, which is, I think, one of my thoughts that I can potentially get. Yeah. So it'll just make it quicker if I ever get that. Which, I guess, that's odd. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be much more here. But I can tell the cleaning lady that I investigated.
Give me a moment.
Check Discord. Void, you have joined? Oh, no. No, no, no. That is unacceptable. No, this is unacceptable. For anybody who's not in my Discord and curious, in Stardew Valley, I'm nearly at the end of year 3, and I have so far got 0 prismatic shards. Copper now has 4, which just... It's not fair. It's not fair. Why must you hurt me like this? It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I will find other ways to succeed. The game, my Stardew RNG is garbage, so I'm just going to succeed through sheer force of will. Anyway, I didn't find any counterculture people in apartment number 10. It's just the real estate agent. But why did the real estate agent lock the door? That's what's curious for me. I see. She takes out her handkerchief and wipes her nose. I hope some good people are finally going to move in. This place needs him. Don't be sorry, Copper. It's not you who hecked up my RNG. Radio computer wizards are coming. They're going to save the place. No one is coming. There will be nothing but squalor unless we start killing real estate agents. I mean, that is a jump. Lax women and sexual deviants. That's who will come. Yeah, let's give her some hope. Oh, I do like wizards, she agrees wholeheartedly. And people like that in general. They have a lot to tell us about our fates. Well, she's a sweetheart. the Graffiso says, a firing squad for the rich. And waste our bullets? I can't believe I actually said that. Yeah, find someone to sign the document instead of the intended signees. So... Can I, like, equip this? No. Okay, because I thought maybe I could just get her to sign it. Oh, and she's gone. I don't think there's much more that needs doing around here. Is that the bad thing I said, Void? I mean, please. My clip silo is absurd and I love it. Okay. Oh no, this is still white? Even though I've got the truth stick? Maybe I need the keys. It said after 9 p.m. I should come here. It is not currently after 9 p.m. You can tell because of how it's 5 p.m. It hurts so much. I just want a prismatic shard. I mean, I've got a fish pond with 10 rainbow trout. It'll be fine. It's just... Oh. It just hurts sometimes. Okay, I'm gonna be streaming for probably about 10 more minutes, so I don't want to start anything big, but I'm curious what things I can explore. Copper, don't be sorry. It was funny. I want to get there. How do I get up onto this roof? That's what I'm curious about now. Child, I will truth stick you.
Trying to sneak up on me again? Trying to snuff me out? Get away, pig!
I just want to truth stick you because you deserve to be truth sticked. Because you're an evil gremlin child. I mean, apparently it worked out, even though you didn't check your luck. And how do I get up there? I want to get there. Does Rabbit's Foot actually do anything? Like, I get very inconsistent answers regarding that. Oh! I genuinely wasn't aware of that. Well, next Rabbit's Foot I get, I will just stash in my inventory. Because there's no reason not to have something useful. I love how quickly I've just turned back to talking about Stardew. Anyway, Everard did say that the Hardys should cooperate with me, but perhaps I can get something more out of them now. I mean, one can hope.
It's you again. What is it?
Me and Everard talked. He promised you'd cooperate. Oh, so you went and talked to my mommy. And now she's making me play with you? He spits. Is that it, lawman? What's going to happen if we don't? The little guy leans forward. You going to go and tell on us? Very mature, guys. Everard sent word, right? Yeah, I heard him. The fuck do you think I'm doing here? You'd have your ass handed to you if it wasn't for the boss man's word. Let me state this very clearly, Capo. He clears his throat and declares. Hello, officer. I'm Titus Hardy and these are my boys. Hardy boys. How may we assist you? Explosive laughter follows. To his men, Titus Hardy is a golden god. Excuse me. They want to laugh at his jokes even before they leave his lips. This guy is a born leader. I talked to Joyce. The merc you hanged, his friends are coming for you. Yeah? He doesn't seem worried. By friends, you mean his squad mates from Cranel? Wouldn't want to beat up his grandma. They're snickering in the room. Some of the men put their beers down. Nervous snickering. There's a rush of adrenaline present. Yes. They're forming some kind of tribunal, and they're coming for you. Let them come, Blondie yells across the cafeteria. The Hardy boys are right fucking here. You heard the man, right here. He points to the ground. We're armed, we got the whole district behind us, and Glenn is fucking crazy. Yeah, a well-oiled murder machine. He punches Blondie in the shoulder. The mood is on the rise. They're feeling confident, ready to punch out the whole merc platoon. This Krenel is bad news. You know that, right? A spray of beer. So were the local gangs, the fucking Barmy Army and the Madre Squad, scum. You've been out there. Seen any around? Yeah, where are they now, huh? He points south. Sent back to Madre in an airtight cargo crate. The mercenaries are armed with automatic weapons. We got weapons of our own. He cracks open his vest to give you a glimpse of his holster. We got Ister 50s, Zeeligers. Glenn's got a knock cannon at home. Will they pierce ceramic armor? I guess we're going to see, aren't we? For your sake, I hope you're right. No, yeah, frankly, I don't want them to fight. Yeah, like you've been up against ceramic armor. He takes a sip of beer to bide his time, then tries to get the last word in. You haven't seen the whole suit, right? I've seen the whole fucking thing, and it didn't make him immortal. Joyce said they've gone rogue. Nobody is controlling them. Big fucking surprise, he mutters. They hire psycho scum, arm them to the teeth, and let them loose in the city. What do they think is going to happen? Okay. What do you mean, okay? He jerks forward a bit. I mean, okay, they're going to wipe you the fuck out, or okay, you got this. I'll be on your side when they come. I will not. I mean, okay, you got one more gun on your side. Once I find mine. I lost it. No, that's not what I mean. I don't like any of these. I'm not on their side. They are actual murderers. Like, openly admitted it. I don't know which one of them is most culpable, but... You know what? Maybe they can help me find my gun. This is weird, but... Like, Everard isn't helping. Maybe they will. Maybe one of them knows and will let something slip. You got one more gun on your side. Once I find mine. I lost it. We don't need you or your lost gun. We all have our guns. He almost splashes his beer at you. We'll just use those if it's okay with you. Just want to see if there's any way to get onto the roof, because there's someone up there. Come on, I clicked you. There's someone up on the roof. And there's other stuff up there. And I'm just curious how to get there. That's always an option, Luca. Jump real high. You know, I don't think you have, at least not to me. I appreciate it. The smell of the sea makes you dizzy. It really shouldn't. A gust of briny wind washes over you. See, that's where I want to get. This is clearly the same building. Oh god, if I could just crouch down and do a high backflip, life would be so much easier. I don't seem to be able to interact with this door in any way. And I don't want to start that quest line quite yet. I'm curious if I can interact with this door. No. Just a tiny hint of what's back there. But you know what? I've been streaming for basically 3 hours. I don't want to start talking to this lady quite yet, simply because I suspect that's going to take a while. So I'm actually going to call stream here. Thank you all very, very much for joining me. It has been an absolute blast, as it always is. There's no real surprise there. I always have a lot of fun streaming for you guys. Let's take a look who's live that we can raid. Chair's live. Mr. JRPG is live. Yeah, let's raid Chair. Good lad, deserves it. Is Birdie streaming? I don't think I follow Birdie. Yes, we will definitely raid Birdie. Thank you for the suggestion, Luca. Yes, you too, Zach. I hope you all have a wonderful day going forward, whatever time of day it is for you. This has been a lot of fun. If you want to catch me in the future, Wednesday at 5:30 Eastern, I'm going to be streaming more Shining Force. Saturday, 5:30 Eastern is when I do Stardew Saturday, which is slowly coming to an end. And then Saturdays, 2:30 Eastern, Sunday, 2:30 Eastern, I will be returning to Disco Elysium and following up on some other important parts of the investigation. Thank you so much for joining me all. You are wonderful. I really appreciate Chen. I don't know if you're still here, but good lord, how dare you with those gift subs. It is completely unacceptable. But yeah, I think you're all great. I hope to see you around again, and I hope you have a lovely time for the rest of the evening.